Okay, and let's start. And if people are joining later, they can watch the video. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for taking the time joining this presentation. My name is Human Takhtichian, and I'm the current ICorr Aberdeen branch chair. As I said, this is going to be recorded, and the recording will be shared on our YouTube channel, and on the link will be available for everyone to watch it. During the presentation, is if there is any question, anything, or after the presentation, please feel free to ask. So we are here, myself, Danny, Oli, mailing to answer any kind of question, and also after the presentation, we are all available for any queries and questions. So just an introduction about the ICorr. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Institute of Corrosion and the activities that we are doing nationwide, worldwide. So most of you or your companies, you are either the members or sponsors of ICorr. As you know, ICorr is founded in 1959 and is a well-established community of corrosion-focused academics and professionals, providing industry-related education, knowledge, and networking facilities around the world. We have a few branches across the UK, arranging regular technical meetings, seminars, webinars, training in various aspects of corrosion control, engineering, career professional development, including chartership support. But today is about one of our successful programs that we have been running for a few years, since 2012 in London. And this is basically the first time that we are doing this in Aberdeen. So this is the Young Engineer Program, and the intent is for career development of the young engineers in corrosion control and integrity management field. Myself and Danny Berkel, who is Young ICorr chair, we will be doing the presentation today. And as I said, any question, just feel free to ask during the presentation or after that. So first of all, the agenda will be just an introduction to Young Engineer Program. Then Danny will take you through the previous programs, the success stories, and what is happening with the Young ICorr, an introduction to Young ICorr. And by the way, Danny is Young ICorr chair, and he is here, one of the members of the winning team in 2018 competition. Then after that, I will take you through the next year program starting from January 2022, and the program syllabus, the case study and competition that we'll have, and the award, application requirements, the opportunities for you and your companies to sponsor or mentor, participate as mentor in the program. So basically, just an introduction about the program. ICorr is running this program for the last few years, as I said, in partnership with NACE or AMPP, which is a mentored technical competency program. The aim is to help to prepare graduates from entry into the corrosion science and engineering applicable in the energy industries, not only limited to oil and gas. Especially this year, we are trying to cover some energy transition aspects as well. since 2012 that the first course was conducted in London. The program has been conducted every two years, and it has been evolving since 2012 in terms of the number of lectures, number of participants, the mentors, case study programs, and we regularly had this going on. This year we are doing it in Aberdeen, and it's kind of in hybrid form. The 2018 was fully face-to-face program, mainly in London, and in 2020, after pandemic, we mostly it was virtual. The lectures, the mentoring session, and even the final competition was all virtual. I'm not sure if any of you have watched it live, but last year it was the competition was online, live streamed for 3 hours, and it was very interesting with all of the 7 teams presentations, all of them very high level, high quality in presenting their case studies. So now after 4 programs in London, we are doing this in London just to give opportunity to the attendees from London, from Aberdeen, sorry, to attend it here from local companies. And as I said, it will be hybrid, but the final competition definitely, and the few sessions will be face-to-face in one of our regular venues here. And we are trying to live stream as well, the final competition as well. So as I mentioned, that the main purpose is just to graduate entry in the industry to enhance their skill set, and this is one of the stages for them to develop into maybe an ICorr or a charter engineer. So it's kind of a known level of career development for to being certified as a charter engineer. There is excellent opportunities for networking with experienced professionals during this process, with mentors, with lecturers, and with all people who are supporting the program. This is one of the main important aspects of the program, to give opportunities to the young engineers to have networking. Also, because we are doing these sessions with our regular technical monthly technical evening sessions. So again, there are networking opportunities with people to contact with other professionals. Thanks to the all lecturers, mentors, and committee members who are working voluntarily for this program. So it is free of charge for the delegates, and any expenses related to the venue for the awards, this will be sponsored by our sponsors. The program will start from January to November with about 9 evening lectures in different specialists from different fields. So we have carefully selected our lecturers from companies who are experts in specific aspects of corrosion engineering. I will go through the syllabus later to show how we have covered most of the aspects of corrosion engineering there. We will have dedicated mentors for groups. So we are having groups of 4 or 5 people, depending to the number of participants, and then we'll assign mentors. The mentors will help them to do their case studies and be prepared for the final presentation competition. And there will be a panel of judges, again, specialists and mainly some of them from the previous programs that they are judging the sessions, judging the presentation at the final competition date in November. And there will be prizes that again I will take you through the details in the next slides. So with that, I will ask Danny to do an introduction to Young ICorr and give us some history about the previous programs.
Thank you. Just to check, can you hear me okay before I start? Thank you.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. So, as already been mentioned, I'm the current Young ICorr chair. I've been in the position for a few months now, after working with Young ICorr for the past couple of years, after attending the Young Engineer Programme in 2018. So just to give you a really brief introduction to Young ICorr. So the main aim of the division is to become an independent division to act as a feeder membership to the major ICorr group, but also to bridge the gap between the more senior and experienced engineers. So the key demographic for Young ICorr is mainly aimed at kind of early stage career. Yeah, thanks, Human. I was about to get to it. It's fine. Can you go back to that slide? Actually, it kind of moved nicely onto that. The key demographic there is early stage engineers, technicians, scientists, and researchers. We recruit from whether early career, whether they're part of a company or whether they're still in education, whether it's a university degree or an apprenticeship. And the main aim here is to develop engineers to fill that gap essentially. So there's a number of things on offer in terms of training schemes through ICorr, such as apprenticeships. There's a number of mentoring opportunities, a number of career development opportunities, and one of the biggest ones has been the Young Engineer Programme. So for me, it's been huge. You know, before the programme, I didn't particularly know too much about what there was on offer at the Institute of Corrosion, and since the programme, it's led me to kind of be heavily involved, and it's been amazing for my career development. So from an institute point of view here, it's to help bridge that skills gap for future generations, and also to kind of help improve corrosion management and control strategies, I guess, is the ultimate aim to develop these young engineers. So can you move on to the next slide, please? Thank you. So this was the programme in 2018. I was part of this programme, and it was based on an offshore heat exchanger corrosion failure. So just to give you a quick background on the actual failure itself, it was a heat exchanger drum, which was made from C276 Hastelloy, and had a very premature and unexpected failure after only a year of service. It was only operating at 90 degrees Celsius in chlorinated seawater, so it should have been no problem for Hastelloy whatsoever. And they experienced a very loud noise coming from one of the drums. There was a train of these early one morning, and later identified a large hole, which you can see in the picture in the bottom left-hand corner. So this was selected to be one of the case studies for the 2018 Young Engineer Programme, which consisted of 12 participants and 3 teams. Each of these 3 teams, as been mentioned already, was nominated an industry expert in the field of corrosion to help drive the teams through the case study, through the syllabus, and to really work together as a team to figure out what happened. This particular case study was won by, if you can go to the next slide, Human. Was won by Team Doggett, which was Rob Doggett of Worley Parsons, and that consisted of myself, Caroline from BP, and Jessica and Oliver from AkzoNobel. So again, we all went into this with completely different experiences. I was a mechanical engineer. That was my background before my PhD, which was in corrosion. But I kind of mainly went in with a presence of mechanical engineering. We had Caroline, who was a corrosion engineer, and both Jessica and Oliver, which were working in the coatings industry. So completely different disciplines, and that's one of the main drivers for the program, is to bring together different disciplines to work together to solve a corrosion problem. So the picture here was actually taken in Nashville at the NACE Corrosion Conference in 2019. And this was at the awards ceremony on the evening where we were presented with a certificate for Young ICorr and the Young Engineer Programme for winning the competition. And the trip to NACE was fully funded as for winning the programme. So as mentioned already, the programme is a competition. And this was a good incentive for us to win, to get a fully expensed trip to America, which is a great trip. We met a lot of people, and again, it was great for exposure for ICorr and the sponsors involved there. If you can move on to the next slide, please. As mentioned, the prize was for a trip to NACE, and I know I'll talk you through this a bit more in the next one, but there's been another prize granted to the winning team for the last one. So just one thing I've mentioned actually on one of the previous slides was just a picture of the presentation evening, which again was a brilliant evening. It was one of the major ICorr events of the year. You can see that in the top right hand corner on that slide. There was a number of people there from industry watching the teams present their findings, and then there was a panel of judges, again recognised industry professionals, and the competition was essentially assessed on your solution, your findings on how you got to the solution, and then highly weighted was how you work together as a team. So the program's really designed to develop each member working as a team full of different disciplines, and I think that was one of the biggest things for me, is actually working with a number of different people from different disciplines. So in 2020, the Young Engineer Programme was an onshore glycol desalination plant failure. Again, this was a titanium pipe. I didn't know as much of a background as I did at the previous one, obviously, because I spent 12 months working on it. But this one, this failure was another premature failure that wasn't expected. I think it was in service for slightly longer, but it was a team's job to really figure out what went wrong. So this program consisted of 32 participants, so it was a much bigger program than the previous program in 2018, and I think that was off the success of the program. It was obviously recognised that there's a lot of benefit to the young engineers participating in the program, hence why actually the majority of the young ICorr committee currently consists of people that have represented the previous programs. It's worth mentioning at this point that there has been further programs beyond 2018, but each year they've just grown and grown, and we had a lot of access to the information for these programs, which is why we're talking about them today. So this program consisted of 7 teams, each again nominated a recognised industry leader in their areas, to help drive them through the case study. So if you can go into the next slides. The winning team here was team 4. And I think the major point here is to show you again the disciplines from the team members. So we've got a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, a welding engineer, and then 2 corrosion engineers on the program that all work together to win the competition. It was a fantastic evening. I felt for this cohort because they started off in person, which you saw in the last photo, but throughout the program, I'm sure you're all familiar with what's happened over the last 18 months, but COVID happened and the program had to become virtual. It was a disadvantage for the group because one of the biggest selling points for the program is to network with your peers, but also to meet your mentors, meet industry experts at the monthly lectures. And I really felt that they missed out on that, but they definitely made the most of it and had a very successful program again. Hence why it's obviously running again next year. And the prize for this program was again a trip to Corrosion, which was going to be Corrosion 21, but it's now moved to March 2022, and it's obviously now rebranded as AMPP. So the winning team there will be going across to San Antonio for a fully expensed trip, again where they'll attend the award ceremony, and also one or maybe even two people, in fact, were selected to attend the AMPP Leadership Development Program, which is also going to be taking place in America next year. I'm not sure if it's in conjunction with the conference. I think it might be later in the year. I think they're still figuring out the logistics because of COVID, but this is another huge opportunity for the participants. And one thing to mention as well, as part of the prize, you do have to give something back. So we were expected to prepare a report and a presentation on our findings from the conference, just from attending technical sessions, speaking to people at the exhibition, just really getting ourselves out there, meeting people, networking. And then this report was published into the Corrosion Management magazine, which is sent out to thousands of people that are current members of the Institute of Corrosion. So another great opportunity for sponsorship there, because we'll expect any sponsors to kind of maybe have some input on the report, maybe have a glance over before it goes out. But it's another great opportunity, and just the conference in general. The presentation evening was a great evening, and it was great fun to be a part of. So I encourage you to tell your colleagues about the Young Engineer Programme, and to definitely anyone that fits the key demographic should be applying, because it's great for anyone's development as an early stage corrosion engineer. So I'll pass you back on to Huma now, who will go through the program syllabus in a little bit more detail, just to give you an idea of what the program consists of, other than the case study.
Thank you very much, Danny. Thank you. Yeah, so basically, just give you an idea of what's happening during the 9 months program. So it is basically made of two main sections. One will be the lectures that we start right from January up to October. At least 9 lectures that will have this kind of 2 hours course per month for the participants. And then the second part of the program is the case study and preparation of the presentation for the competition, which starts from May, somewhere here. So as you see, this is the syllabus of all the lectures that we have kind of modified it from previous year, and the reason is that, first of all, this is Aberdeen based, and we have kind of tweaked the program just to fit with the Aberdeen kind of based attendees. Plus, we have added a session for the energy transition to that, because just we don't want to limit it only to oil and gas. We want to start moving toward the renewables and the energy transition. So we start in January with the introduction from the previous year program, just to give some idea about the expectation and the program to the attendees, and give them the main guidance and who to approach, and how to progress during this 9 months program, a year almost. And then the same event, we will have a fundamental of corrosion presentation for them. The presentations, as I said, they are about depending to what is included at the night. But normally the sessions are 2 hours, and there will be a question and answer and networking session with mentors and with the lecturers and the program team. Will be about 2 hours time. In February, we will have 2 sessions, which will be 2 joint presentation, one for material and one for welding. 2 different companies representative, they are doing this presentation. In March, we'll have NDT and corrosion monitoring. In April, coating and lining. And then in May, we'll start to introduce the case study. Steve Patterson, who has joined the Aberdeen committee this year, is actually in charge of preparing the case study and presenting it to the attendees, and just being in touch with the mentors all the time to make sure that they are progressing well in the case study preparation and the presentation. In June, we'll continue with corrosion under insulation and COI and COF topic. And then in July, we'll go for cathodic protection. August is normally every time in the program we have a gap month in August, so there's no lecture, but because in Aberdeen we normally do every year our annual corrosion forum, or previously known as Corrosion Awareness Day. Next year we are planning to have annual corrosion forum with the top theme of energy transition. So we are providing free space. This is a paid kind of event, but we are providing free space for young engineers in that as well. In September, it will be production chemistry and chemical treatment. October will be integrity management, including RBI and risk assessment and fitness for service. And as you see, all of these are different, covering different aspects of the corrosion engineering and integrity management, and they all help them to prepare for the case study, which is integrity related case. And then in November, we'll have the presentation here in Aberdeen. And as Danny explained, so the case studies are real case studies, and Steve Patterson is he has a few of them ready, but he's in the process of finalizing one for this year. Each group will have a mentor and will work from May to November on their case study. And the mentor will be kind of in charge, not to give them the solution and the results, but just to guide them through the process. And it will be a kind of focal point between the group and the program team if they need any kind of additional data, because they will start with kind of a minimum basic data and the case study, and then they need to start approaching their mentors if they need additional information, for example, for failure analysis, if they need like additional lab reports or specific piece of data, then they will gradually get these data from by communicating their mentors. So at the end, it is expected that they prepare a 20-minute presentation presented in November, and all of the team members, they need to be involved in the presentation. So it's kind of a joint presentation of 4 or 5 people during the 20 minutes, and then it will follow with a 5-minute question by panel, and then at the end of the evening there will be the winner will be announced. So as Danny mentioned, there is an award for this competition, and for the next year will be NACE or AMPP Annual Conference Expo 2023 in Denver, Colorado. So all the traveling and accommodation and attending the conference fees, they will be paid. And this year, our main sponsor, who is BP, they kindly offered to continue their sponsorship, which they have done for the last couple of programs. So they are doing this also this year to cover the expenses for people traveling for this conference. In addition to that, there will be one, or in exceptional case like last year, there were 2 people selected by panel or the mentor group as the person who has had an outstanding performance during the whole 9 months program. And that person is not necessarily from the winning team. It can be anyone from the participants. And then he or she will be attending the leadership course again by NACE. The course, since this year after the pandemic, it's started to be online courses, but at the end, after the course is completed, they will it will be concluded during the same conference Expo 2023. So again, there will be the person who selected will be traveling to the conference, to States for the conference. So the application, a few things about application. The application already started. We have sent the announcement and forms to companies and people to fill and apply. We have done a few posts on social media, on LinkedIn, to invite different people, but we still expecting to receive more applications. So please feel free to share this with anyone in your company or any of your contacts, so we can have like more diverse applications, and we can reach out to more people in Aberdeen. So one of the criteria is that they need to be at their earliest stage of their career. One of the requirements for this award, leadership course award, is that the applicant should be less than 30-year-old, and or to be 30 to 35-year-old if they have only 5 years experience. So this will limit a little bit the age, but they are open to, there's no age limit to attend the program. But if they are selected as to attend this leadership course, there is an age limit for that. So, and we are putting like a 2 to 6 year relevant experience. We don't want like fresh graduated people. They need to at least have a couple of years experience in the industry. They not necessarily they should be employed at the moment, but they could have like some previous experience. And we don't want like very experienced, like 10 years experience applicant here. It is preferred to have a relevant academic background. They are not necessarily need to be corrosion engineers, as Danny mentioned. We had civil engineers, mechanical engineers, anyone with the other academic background, but interested to develop themselves in corrosion engineering and integrity management. Since we are doing it in Aberdeen, and some of the sessions, hopefully most of the sessions will be face-to-face, so they need to be based in Aberdeen or willing to travel at their own cost to Aberdeen. And we are still checking the criteria for the applicants. After we receive the forms, the panel and the committee, they will check the criteria. So the opportunities for the companies and yourselves as well for sponsorship. So as I mentioned, the first prize for the group, the winning group, is already sponsored by BP, but it is still there are still opportunities for more sponsorship. If any company is interested to again sponsor the first prize for the future program, which is 2024, you're welcome to book it from now. But we have for this year program also, we still are looking for sponsors for the second prize. And also for venue and catering. We have options of companies sponsoring our regular venues, which is like either RGU or Palm Court Hotel, that we do our monthly technical programs in it, plus the catering cost. Or if you have any good size, maybe meeting room accommodating like about 20 people, or a big hall. So and you can host these venues. Yeah, that's fine as well. This is, I think, for the year 2018. McDermott, they hosted all the events in London. So it's something that you can also think about, or if you know any company who are willing to do that, that's perfect. And what are the benefits for sponsors? So first of all, you're helping the next generation of corrosion engineers to develop with this full 9 months course with their career development for future. But apart from that, the logo of the companies who are sponsoring will appear on all of our flyers or posters, training materials during the program will be posted to different companies, or live streamed or presented in our venues or during the competition. Each sponsor will have one guaranteed place for a young engineer from their company, depending actually on how much they are sponsoring, but at least they will have one guaranteed place. Of course, they need to meet the criteria, but we are looking for like maximum 20 people in the program, but then the sponsor will have one guaranteed place. And the mentoring opportunities, again, I mentioned briefly in the beginning that we already have 3 confirmed mentors, and we are very careful in selecting mentors. As I said, they should have very good experience and background and good knowledge, and they should have already a long experience in leading the technical teams. So we are actually selecting team leads, technical leads, technical authorities, technical managers for these mentoring opportunities. So there are still 2 slots available, 2 positions available. So if you yourself or anyone you know interested, just let us know. As I said, the whole responsibility for the mentor will start from May, that they have the case studies, and we expect that the mentor to have regular sessions with the team. Will be like one formal meeting every month with the team. We are trying to not have a virtual meeting with the mentors, just because we need the group to have like face-to-face contact with the mentors. But last year, again, because of the pandemic, we ended up doing the mentoring sessions virtual, which is not ideal, but is still a possibility. But it's just a small group of 4 or 5 people. So the mentors, they either can host this at their company, or they can do it at the same day same night that we are doing the presentation. And we expect the mentor to be available for any kind of queries from the groups during their case study, like checking if they're sending any emails or contacting them. Not much, but it's just to address any query during that 5 months time. And also to communicate with other mentors. So if they're just to be fair between different groups. So if there is essential piece of data that is not shared with the other groups, just to talk to other mentors and see and the panel definitely to see if that piece of information need to be shared with the other groups as well. And that's it basically. So any question we're taking now, or if you want to contact us, so main contact will be ICorr Aberdeen email address that we regularly check. Myself, I'm available for any queries. Stephen Tate, our ICorr Vice President and past ICorr Aberdeen Chair, he can be contacted as well. Oli, who is our Vice Chair at the moment, he's actually checking our ICorr Aberdeen email and can contact, can respond to any query. Danny is available as well. David Mobbs and Trevor Osborne have kindly offered to help and assist us during this year program. They have been mainly the leader for the previous programs in London. And of course, for any general queries, please contact admin@icorr.org. Okay, thank you. Any questions? You can unmute yourself, hopefully.
Hi, Human, this is Praful here.
Hi, Praful, how are you?
Hey, good. Sorry, let me start my video. Good, thanks for the presentation. So quick question. So are you accepting the new applications? What is the deadline, and when is the selection going to be done?
Yeah, good question. The deadline is end of October. So it's because the program starts from January, actually end of January, but then during December time, we are not going to process anything. So end of October, it's perfect if we can receive anything, so we can process that during November.
Thank you. Yeah.
But if you are not sure about the criteria or anything, or you have a few applicants, just feel free to contact myself. We can discuss and see who is the best person to apply here.
Sorry, Human, is there a summary information pack that is available for people to use for this?
Yeah, we have sent an announcement a few months ago, so I have that as well available. It's a 2 pages summary of the program. The only thing I need to update the syllabus for this year, so I can add that and then I can send to all with email maybe.
Yeah, so probably the key thing is for people to know where to find the application form. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We can attach application form as well, because I think application forms are sent to all of our contacts in ICorr Aberdeen, in ICorr members, to ICorr members, posted on LinkedIn, and we have actually asked other institutes like Energy Institute, TWI, MCF, NACE, IMECI, just to share with their members. So it is already gone, but we can send the kind of introduction package plus the application form to everyone.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks, Suman. I will drop out now. Thanks for the great presentation.
Thank you,
I'll
Parfo.
be in touch. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye. I think Steve Plant has put a message there. Message me later related to sponsorship needs, and I can see if PM can help. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank you very
just on
much.
sponsorship. That was all. Yeah, nothing to sort of discuss now. That's why I put in the message, just to keep it
Great.
clear.
I will. Thank you very much. Okay. If there is no other question, as I said, we are open for any kind of queries. We can respond later, and the recording will be. I will send a link to the recording later if you want to refer to anything. Okay. Is there anything else, Danny, Oli, mailing? If you want to have any final words.
Not from me. Thank you, Ewan.
Thank you. Sorry, was it mailing? It was very quiet. I didn't hear.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm good. Nothing from me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll head off. That's great.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, bye.